The end began with a sound. A siren's scream that echoed through the bones of the Aether Directorate. It was a sound I had engineered, a signal I had designed to tear everything down. Zero Day had arrived, not with a whisper, but with a roar that shook the foundations of the world we knew. Red emergency lights pulsed through the dark, sterile corridors, painting everything in shades of blood and warning. They beat like a frantic heart, a rhythm counting down the final moments of a global lie. I stood there, in the chaos I had unleashed, a ghost in the machine I was about to break. This was the moment I could never take back. The culmination of every betrayal, every loss, every sacrifice that had led me to this precipice of history. This is my confession. My final report. There are no more shadows to hide and no more coded messages to decipher. Only the raw, unfiltered truth of what happened in those final hours. For years, I was Elias Crow, an elite operative for the Directorate, a loyal soldier serving a cause I believed in. I was a tool, sharpened and aimed by masters who promised a better world. But their utopia, Project Elysium, was built on a foundation of control, a mass neural network designed to enslave billions by 2028. They orchestrated crises to sell their cure, and I was the one who pulled the trigger, blind to the grand design until it was almost too late. The alarms continued their shriek, a fitting soundtrack for the end of an era. The plan was simple, brutal, and absolute. We would reduce their system to nothing, sever the connections, burn the servers, erase Elysium from existence. It was a desperate gambit, a suicide run into the heart of the beast. My team, the few I could trust, were scattered throughout the facility, each playing their part in this symphony of destruction. We knew the cost. We knew that not all of us would see the dawn that followed. And me? I was the conductor, the one who had to see it through to the bitter end. The Directorate had tried to erase me, sending assassins to silence the man who knew too much. They had faked my wife Elena's death, turning her into a ghost meant to haunt me, only for her to reappear as my guardian, my protector. But the deepest cut, the one that fueled this fire, was the knowledge of the child I never knew I had, a son hidden from me by the very people I was now fighting. This wasn't just about saving the world anymore. It was about saving the future he represented, even if I had to break everything to do it. The calm shattered into a million pieces. Our first objective was Sub-Level 7, a labyrinth of maintenance tunnels and server farms that snaked beneath the main facility. We moved fast, boots echoing on the cold concrete floors, a stark contrast to the muffled chaos above. Sparks rained down from severed conduits, illuminating our path in brief, violent flashes. It was like moving through the belly of a dying leviathan, its metallic groans and electrical spasms. My team was a small, hardened group. There was Marcus, a former Directorate engineer whose guilt over building parts of Elysium drove him to help me tear it down. Beside him was Anya, a data analyst we'd pulled from the archives, a woman who could make encrypted networks sing. We moved as one, a tight formation of ghosts clad in black, our faces grim masks of determination. An automated defense turret, one we thought Anya had disabled, sputtered back to life. Marcus shoved me forward, a guttural yell tearing from his throat as he took the brunt of the kinetic rounds. He didn't fall so much as collapse, his body a crumpled heap against a server rack that was already sparking and dying. Anya pulled me away, her face pale, but her eyes burning with a cold fire.
"He knew the risk, Elias," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the din.
We keep moving. For him. The weight of Marcus's sacrifice settled on my shoulders, another layer of stone added to the mountain I already carried. The global demo was proceeding, its progress marked by the steady rhythmic hum that vibrated through the floor. This was the nature of the final push. A relentless, grinding attrition that stripped you of your friends, your hope, and your humanity, leaving only the raw, brutal necessity of the mission. I found the service elevator Anya had mentioned. Its doors were miraculously open, a silent invitation into the machine's holiest sanctum. The hum of the facility grew into a deep, resonant thrum. I felt it in my teeth and in my bones. The door slid open, not to a corridor, but to an observation deck overlooking the core chamber itself. In the center of the room, the Elysium core pulsed with blue-white light. Around it, hundreds of holographic screens, each displaying a different part of the world. Beautiful, hypnotic, utterly terrifying. Only the activation sequence moved, creeping across the master monitors. North America, almost entirely online. Europe, beginning to light up. Technicians moved below, calm, practiced, precise. They were priests tending an altar, oblivious to the heresy I was about to commit. They were ushering in the end of free will, and they looked like they were merely managing a database. Every crisis they had manufactured, every war they had profited from, every life they had destroyed, had led to this glowing point. I could feel the pull, a seductive whisper promising order, peace, an end to chaos. It was the serpent's song, but I had heard the screams of those crushed beneath its foundations. I knew the price of this peace, and I was here to make sure the bill came due. I found a service ladder that led down to the chamber floor, slipping behind a bank of humming servers. That was when I saw it. A secondary monitor's security feed flickered. It showed a cloaked figure. Elena. The machine noticed my distraction. A nearby screen glitched. It reformed into a schematic of the very server I was hiding behind. A soft, polite alarm chimed through the chamber. The technicians finally looked up. The machine's eye had found me. Chaos erupted. The polite chime was replaced by a shrill, piercing klaxon. I broke from my cover, sprinting toward the central platform where the primary console was located. As I vaulted onto the central platform, a figure stepped out from behind the core itself. It was Anya.
It's too late, Elias. The AI, it's self-aware. It anticipated the virus. We can't kill it with software.
And then, the final barrier revealed itself. From a shadowed doorway I hadn't seen before, another figure emerged. Elena.
Don't, Elias. There's another way. A way for you to walk away from this, to have a life.
The world narrowed to the space between us. There was only Elena, standing like a statue in the heart of the storm she had helped create. "Where is he?" I asked, my voice a low growl, rough and broken.
He's safe. He's hidden. I made sure of it. He has a life, Elias. A real life, far away from all of this.
Her words hung in the air, a poisoned offering. A life with my son. It was a masterful, cruel move.
His name is Leo.
I looked from Elena, the keeper of my past, to Anya, the soldier fighting for our future. A gilded cage is still a cage, but from the inside, it can look a lot like a paradise. I turned my back on Elena. The pain of that decision was a physical agony, a tearing in the very fabric of my being. I walked to the master console. A single bullet was all it would take.
He's made his choice. Go live.
My finger tightened on the trigger. This was atonement. This was justice. This was for everyone. I pulled the trigger. Time seemed to stretch and distort. For a single silent moment, nothing happened. Then it turned a deep, angry red. Then came the surge. The global rollout was dying. We had reduced their new world order to a world of static. The system collapsed from the inside out. Through smoke and strobing lights, the emergency exit slid shut. Elena had gotten Anya out.
He's with my sister. In Vermont. He's safe, Elias. He's loved.
The core's roar reached its crescendo. "Go," she whispered. Then the light consumed her. Then darkness. I escaped. I pushed it open and was met with the cold, cleansing shock of rain. The rain washed the soot and grime from my face. I took the pistol from my waistband and let it fall from my numb fingers. The sun began to break through the clouds. It was a beautiful, hopeful sight, but it felt like a lie. I didn't win. I just ensured that no one else would have to lose. With the first rays of sunlight warming my face, I disappeared into the light, quietly, with reverb. He'll never know his father was the man who broke the world to save it.